Good evening and welcome to Spanish Fork 17 coverage of high school basketball tonight at Timpview High School, where it's the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles and the Timpview Thunderbirds. We'd like to thank tonight's game is being brought to you by our sponsors, Doug Smith Auto, along with MVP Sports, who will sponsor our MVP of the game coming up at the conclusion of the broadcast, and all of our instant replays tonight brought to you by the Car Guys. So we want to thank them for helping make this broadcast possible. I'm Ryan Pickens here tonight at Timpview High School. The last time these two teams were together, we had a crazy game in January when it really looked like Timpview was in full control, and then all of a sudden Maple Mountain chipped their way back in it, and then it came down to the final seconds of the fourth quarter before we went to overtime, before Maple Mountain was able to come out victorious with the win in the overtime period, which was a very exciting win at Maple Mountain and a chance to really kind of springboard the Golden Eagles season into a nice winning streak through league play before their loss to Provo coming up last week. The Maple Mountain Golden Eagles coming into this one 14-4, 6-2 in Region 8, looking to have an opportunity to work towards that region championship. They'll be at Wasatch on Tuesday night before coming home for Springville and then finishing the season at crosstown rival Spanish Fork. Timpview comes in 10-7, 4-3 overall, more at the bottom of Region 8. They're right now in a tie for that final playoff spot with the Wasatch Wasps. And so it will be very important for every game down the stretch, especially for Timpview, as their starting lineup being announced here inside the Thunderdome here on a Friday night for high school basketball and a late season basketball game. We're just about set, ready to go for tip. Maple Mountain wearing their black uniforms they've wore all season on the road here. And they'll go with their starting lineup of Jaron Hall and Jake Dixon in the backcourt. Cade Polson, Sam Kromenhoek, and Abe Durant will be in the front court for Maple Mountain. On the other side, Timpview is going to go with a similar starting lineup that we saw last time these two teams played. It'll be Gavin Baxter, Britton Covey, Gabe Reed, Samson Nakua, and number 1, I believe it's number 52, AJ Bollinger. So a change from when they originally put it up on the board. AJ Bollinger inside starting. He had 9 points inside last time these two teams played. So we're about set, ready to go for tip. It's going to be Gavin Baxter against Sam Kromenhoek. Kromenhoek jumps a little early. Tip is won by the Thunderbirds, and Samson Nakua with the basketball wearing number 0. Britton Covey gets the first shot of the game, and that one went long. Rebound inside to Bollinger, who will kick it back out to Baxter, who will shoot up a 3, and that one was short. Rebound to Bollinger again. Bollinger turns on Kromenhoek, right hook. That one didn't go. And finally, the ball is going to get out to Nakua, who finds Baxter for a layup, and that one doesn't go down. So Timpview finding all parts of the rim, but couldn't get a shot to go down in the first 25 seconds of this one, but ball goes out of bounds, and they'll have the basketball here with Britton Covey set to inbound. Covey looking to get it in. Gabe Reed gonna float up a long shot that goes wide. Hall pulls the rebound, and Maple Mountain has their first possession of the basketball game. Hall into the front court over to Durant. Kromenhoek with it, opposite wing. Back up to Polson, guarded by Reed. Polson back over Jake Dixon, his first touch of the game. Kromenhoek, back Polson. He'll fire up a 3, and that one's good. Cade Polson's been a great leader for this Maple Mountain team on the year. He's got 3, averages about 17 a game. Maple Mountain early 3-0 lead. Covey puts it on the floor, tries to attack, kicks it to Nakua opposite wing. Back over to Covey in the corner. And Covey will move the basketball inside. Bollinger lost it. The ball's tapped away. Kromenhoek controls. Hall looking to run. Down court pass. It's Durant in and out of his hands. And they're going to say he touched the inline before going out of bounds. We do want to thank Doug Smith Auto for sponsoring tonight's game. You can visit Doug Smith Auto at 1341 North Main Street in Spanish Fork, or give them a call at 801-804-5971. So Timpview with the basketball, and it's Gabe Reed, number 23, heading to Stanford University to play football. Nakua puts up a 3 and hits. So we're locked at 3, both teams hitting an early 3. And with 6:16 to go in the quarter, we're going to get our first whistle and our first foul of the game. And I believe we're going to get Gabe Reed, number 23, on the foul, and they will. That'll be the first against Reed and the first personal and the first team foul against Timpview. Jake Dixon to inbound for Maple Mountain. Gets it over to Jaron Hall. Hall with the basketball, guarded by Nakua. Dixon with it in the corner, drives right around Covey, takes it to the rim, floats up a shot, no. Getting it, the rebound was Durant, and he gets the putback. Durant with his first bucket of the night and gets it on an offensive putback, and Golden Eagles have a 2-point lead. Bollinger inside, back out to Reed. Reed puts it on the floor through the key, drops it back, Nakua. Nakua puts it inside, Bollinger against Kromenhoek. Spins inside, Bollinger back out to Reed. Nakua opposite corner. Jake Dixon getting the matchup on Gavin Baxter like he did last time in that meeting at Maple Mountain. Giving up a few inches, but probably the Maple Mountain's best defender. Nakua with the basketball on the wing, drops it inside, Bollinger. Gonna try to turn on Kromenhoek, spins left, takes it to the rim, couldn't get the layup to go. Rebound tipped out to Polson. Nakua in the backcourt reaches in, and they're gonna say he got just a little too much of Cade Polson. And so Samson Nakua gonna pick up his first personal. And we'll check out the car guys' instant replay.
Couldn't get the layup to go. Rebound tipped out to Polson. Nakua in the backcourt reaches
Polson
in.
with that left hand and reaches in with the other. Maple Mountain basketball. Hall to the basket, left-handed layup, no. No call on the foul, and Covey gets the rebound and will push it into the front court. Covey all the way to the basket, kicks it out, Gabe Reed for three, and that one was short. Kromenhoek pulls the rebound. Hall with it into the front court. 4:43 to go, first quarter. Kromenhoek over to Hall. Durant in the corner trying to get around Bollinger. Takes it to the basket here, drops it to Hall. Hall with the left hand, this time couldn't go. Durant right there for the board, goes up again and gets that one to roll. So Durant with 2 offensive rebounds in the early going for 2 putbacks and gives Maple Mountain a 4-point lead here. Nakua on the opposite side to answer, couldn't get this one to go. Dixon pulls the board, Golden Eagles will look to run. Into the front court, Dixon steps through, floats it up and good with the left hand. So a quick run here for Maple Mountain, and here's Reed back the other way. He'll shoot a floater short. Rebound gonna be finally controlled by Durant. No over the back call, and now Durant dribbles into the front court for Maple Mountain. Jaron Hall, number 1, with it at the top. Guarded by Nakua. Dixon on the back cut. Didn't get it to him. Polson up top for 3. That one was off. It looked like his motion just didn't get time to get set. Gavin Baxter pulls the rebound for Timpview. He's going to try to take it all the way. Floats that one. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound tipped out to Hall. Hall is going to run one-on-one with Covey. Takes it to the basket and going to bank it in. No. Rebound's going to be tipped around. They're going to say out of bounds to the Golden Eagles. Coming up at the conclusion of our tonight's game, we'll give you the MVP Sports MVP of the game. You can visit MVP Sports at 72 North Main Street in Spanish Fork, your hometown sporting goods specialist since 1987. So Jake Dixon set to inbound for Maple Mountain, 3:22 to go in the quarter. Polson guarded by Gabe Reed, and there's going to be a foul, and I think they're going to get Gabe Reed for a hold. If that is, that's his second. And that is going to be Gabe Reed's second. We'll see here on the Car Guys instant replay.
Guarded by Gabe Reed.
He just kind of holds and kind of prevents Polson from getting around that corner. Jaron Hall with the basketball at the top of the key. Maple Mountain checks Bryson Anderson in for the first time. Colson Santiago in for Timpview. And a 3 on the way for Polson's good. He hit that with Colson Santiago's hand in his face. Polson with 6, and Maple Mountain has a 9-point lead. To the basket, Nakua count the basket and the foul. Samson Nakua with all of the Timpview points so far. And the foul there is going to go against, I believe that's Cade Polson. We'll see here on the replay. Nakua, Polson just getting a little too aggressive going for the block. Nakua at the line, the free throw is long, and the rebound goes to Bryson Anderson. Polson doesn't foul out of the game very much, but did foul out of the game against Provo that ended up in a Maple Mountain win on Tuesday night. Anderson down the lane, kicks it Hall for a deep three, and that one was short. Rebounded easily, goes to Gavin Baxter. Britton Covey steps, drives down the lane, floats it up, and Dixon got the block, but they're going to say traveled beforehand. And with 2:34 to go in the first quarter, Timpview will have a turnover as Levi Wilson checks in for the Thunderbirds. We do want to thank our instant replay sponsor tonight, the Car Guys. You can visit the Car Guys at 872 North Main Street in Spanish Fork. Give them a call at 801-794-0077, or you can visit them online, thecarguysut.net. So Golden Eagles basketball as Cade Polson takes a long two and misses that one long. Levi Wilson pulls the rebound, and Timpview is going to settle it up in the front court. Covey looked like he almost took another extra step there. Colson Santiago puts it on the floor, trying to get around Polson. Drops it inside, it's Kafusi. And that one's good for Devin Kafusi. So Timpview slowly chipping into the Maple Mountain lead as Bryson Anderson steps inside. Here's Polson trying to get Santiago in the air. He'll take it to the basket, couldn't get it to go. Tipped around, Colson Santiago quickly gets it into the front court to Britton Covey, and that one's turned over. It's Dixon against Gavin Baxter. Dixon leaves it for Polson, who lays it up and in. Jake Dixon showing how being unselfish there ends up in a basket for Maple Mountain and extends their lead to 7. 14-7 Golden Eagles. Levi Wilson dropping it inside to Kafusi, guarded by Sam Kromenhoek. Kafusi loses the ball. Polson's going to run and get it before Britton Covey. And Maple Mountain a chance to extend that lead to as much as 10 here with a three-pointer. Polson thought about just pulling up and shooting it, but picks up his dribble and gets it to Hall. Hall slips, can't get up, has to find somebody, does, and he finds Bryson Anderson. Anderson back to Hall. Here's Kromenhoek, he'll shoot up a three, and that one's good. It's a good sign to get Sam Kromenhoek an early basket. And that's going to spark a timeout called by Timpview with 51 seconds to go in the first quarter as Maple Mountain has come out shooting on fire here in the early going. And they have a 17-7 lead with 51 seconds to play in the quarter. Maple Mountain, of course, coming off the big emotional win Friday over Provo, or not over Provo, I'm sorry, the win Tuesday night. They lost Friday night to Provo and then came home on Tuesday. Was able to find a way to get it done in overtime against Salem Hills. That was a nice 81-74 game that you saw right here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. So Maple Mountain will bring in Caleb Johnson for the first time. So they'll break the timeout with Caleb Johnson, Jake Dixon, Bryson Anderson, Sam Kromenhoek, and Cade Polson. Colson Santiago, number 1, with the basketball. Gets it over to Kafusi. Here's Colson Santiago for 3. That one was long. Quickly pulling the rebound was Kromenhoek. Here's Anderson running with Dixon. Anderson banks it in. So Maple Mountain's been able to get their transition game going, and we'll see here if Timpview will slow it up for one final shot. Levi Wilson trying to get it inside to Gavin Baxter. Lobs it back door. Baxter with the catch but couldn't finish. And Maple Mountain with 10 seconds, they can hold for the final shot. Caleb Johnson right now, the court general. Polson shoots up a deep three, and that one was short. Rebound goes to Baxter, and he won't get the shot off before half as he puts it just short of the basket. But a great start in the first quarter for the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. They're able to shoot very well from the floor. Cade Polson with 8 points to lead the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles. At the end of one from Timpview High School, it's Maple Mountain 19 and the Timpview Thunderbirds 7. You're watching high school basketball here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. Start of the second quarter here on Spanish Fork Community Network. the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles and the Timpview Thunderbirds here from the Thunderdome up in Provo. We'd like to thank tonight's sponsors, MVP Sports, for sponsoring our MVP player of the game, and the Car Guys for sponsoring our Car Guys Instant Replay. And with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, we're back underway. Ryan Pickens here. Jerry Huffman not with me tonight. He had a previous engagement. We'll see him back on Tuesday when Maple Mountain heads to Wasatch. Kromenhoek going to shoot up a three, and that one was short. And the rebound is pulled by Colson Santiago, number 44. Drops it inside. Here's Kafusi trying to back Kromenhoek down, lowers the shoulder, takes it up and lays it in. So 2 points for Devin Kafusi. Jake Dixon and the Golden Eagles quickly back the other way. Garrett Griffin, number 5 in. Going around the screen. Here's the drive and the kick, and that one's thrown away. Timpview gonna try to quicken the pace up. Kafusi underneath, gets the roll. So Kafusi with 6 quick points off the bench for Timpview. And that cuts into the Maple Mountain lead, brings it down to 8 with 7:01 to play in the quarter. Dixon with the ball. Here's Anderson. Caleb Johnson in the corner. Kromenhoek. Maple Mountain been very comfortable moving the perimeter. Garrett Griffin for 3, and that one gets the roll. And that just kind of sums up the first quarter. Everything Maple Mountain was shooting up found a way to roll in. 11-point lead here on the road. Timpview moving the basketball, trying to get it inside to Baxter. It's stolen away. Kromenhoek up ahead. Dixon against Levi Wilson. Dixon banks it too strong, and they're going to get a blocking foul against Levi Wilson. So that could have gone either way. We'll see here on the Car Guys Instant Replay as Jake Dixon goes all the way and just gets Levi Wilson with that back foot not quite set. And so Jake Dixon will make a trip to the free throw line. Dixon's first free throw on its way and is short. And the foul, they actually didn't give out to Levi Wilson. They gave it to number 25, Gavin Baxter. So the leading scorer for Timpview, averaging 14 points a game, hasn't even gotten on the scoreboard yet, but has picked up his first foul. If you want to thank our sponsors for the game, Doug Smith Auto, you can visit Doug Smith Auto at 1341 North Main Street in Spanish Fork, or give them a call at 801-804-5971. Sorting something out here with the timeout situation, as looks like there's a conversation going on here as to something. I wasn't quite sure what it was. They were talking to, it looks like Samson Nakua about something. And Dixon's second free throw is good. So Jake Dixon with 3 points on the night. Cade Polson will check back in for Maple Mountain, and Jake Dixon will get a much-deserved rest. And Samson Nakua will run the point for Timpview. 6:22 to go, second quarter. Levi Wilson drives, drops it back. Here's Nakua. Nakua trying to get around Griffin. He almost loses it. Back to Levi Wilson. Nakua drops it inside. Bollinger, number 52. Going to try to get around Durant. And there's going to be looks like we're going to have an offensive, I don't think it was an offensive foul. I think they got 3 in the key on, I believe it might have been Kafusi for just kind of being, or Bollinger, I mean, for just kind of being down there in the key. So a Timpview turnover gives the ball back to Maple Mountain with 5:52 to go in the second quarter. Caleb Johnson with the basketball, number 12 for Maple Mountain. Gets it to Garrett Griffin on a back cut. The floater is short. Rebound goes to Nakua, and he'll look to run. Nakua over to Wilson, drops it back. Nakua quickly realized there was 4 Golden Eagles right beside him. Up to the top of the key. Drops it inside. Bollinger trying to get around Durant. Floats that one up, and we're going to get a foul. I think this one's going to go against Abe Durant. We'll wait to see the official call, and it will be Durant. So we'll check out the Car Guys Instant Replay on that one. Durant just getting that hand in there on that reach to draw some contact. So send A.J. Bollinger, number 52, to the free throw line. And the first free throw is good for Bollinger. Levi Wilson will head to the bench. Britton Covey and Gabe Reed back in for Timpview. Caleb Johnson went to the bench for Maple Mountain. Jaron Hall back in. And Bollinger hits a pair for the Thunderbirds. Cade Polson with the basketball, bringing the ball up here, running the point. Polson over to Hall. Here's Durant. Durant guarded by Bollinger. Here's Bryson Anderson. Anderson's been quiet so far tonight. Here's Durant going to the basket, steps in, splits the defense, and lays it in. Durant with 6 points tonight. It's a little bit of everybody for Maple Mountain able to score. Drops it inside, and Hall able to there to intercept the pass. Maple Mountain will run. Hall into the front court. He's going to kick it in the corner. Anderson for three. It's good. And, you know, that's just summing up the night. And that's going to get a timeout called by Timpview head coach Kevin Santiago, as we'll have our first Hey Doug timeout of the game. Thank Doug Smith Automotive for sponsoring our timeouts. You can visit them at 1341 North Main Street in Spanish Fork, or give them a call at 801-804-5971. So a quick run here by Maple Mountain to extend their lead, and a good timeout here by Kevin Santiago, as the Golden Eagles right now, Sam Kromenhoek, everybody getting involved, as Garrett Griffin able to get the three to roll in. Just been one of those nights for the Golden Eagles where everything they're shooting up is going in, and it's hard, I'm sure, for Kevin Santiago, because there's only so much you can do if you're Timpview defensively to prevent that from happening. I guess you can maybe make sure you get a hand in their face, but there's only so much you can do defensively. Sometimes that ball is just going to roll down, and so far that's been the night for Maple Mountain, as everything seems to be going up and going down for Maple Mountain tonight. 8 points for Cade Polson, 6 for Durant, 5 for Bryson Anderson. The Golden Eagles in a tie right now with Spanish Fork, both at 6-2. Spanish Fork right now playing at home, and they are taking on the Provo Bulldogs. So Provo at 5-3. A win there could potentially get it close to a three-way tie at the top. So 4:40 to go here in the second quarter, and Timpview will bring the basketball up with Britton Covey. It will be Covey, Nakua, Reed, Bollinger, and Baxter. The starting five for Timpview. Maple Mountain with Durant, Hall, Polson, Bryson Anderson, Griffin. There's Nakua for three. Nakua, the leading scorer for Timpview tonight. He's got 8 of their 16 points, so he's got half so far. Timpview is going to go into a man defense here. Drops inside. Here's Anderson with a short little jumper. That one rimmed out. Durant gets the board and gets a shot blocked by Gavin Baxter. So a great defensive play there by Gavin Baxter. Great offensive rebound by Abe Durant. He's got at least 3 offensive boards on the night. Abe Durant with the basketball. Here's Garrett Griffin in the corner. Griffin drops it to Polson. Polson got him in the air, takes the step, drives to the basket. Durant drives baseline, kicks it back. Polson again in the corner. He'll take a long 2 and hits. So Polson with 10. He averages about 17 a game, so he's halfway to his average on the night. And that one's knocked out of bounds. They're going to say it went off of Abe Durant, and it's going to stay here with Timpview. Sam Kromenhoek to the table to check in. He'll come in. Garrett Griffin will head to the bench. So both teams now, they're starting 5 back out there. Britton Covey getting set to inbound. It inbounds to the top to Gabe Reed. Reed gonna try to go around Anderson, kicks it to Nakua. Nakua drops it inside. Bollinger against Kromenhoek. Here's Nakua in the corner, goes right around Polson, takes it to the basket and lays it in. Nakua with that quick first step has been able to get people in the air and just take it to the basket. Maple Mountain by 12, 3:16 to go before halftime. Anderson with the basketball, guarded by Nakua. Nakua in the first matchup got in some early foul trouble and was on the bench for a good portion of the first half. Durant back out Kromenhoek. Here's Hall. Cade Polson right around Baxter, going to float up along two, and he misses that one long. Rebound going to be tipped around, ran down by Kromenhoek. Anderson's going to shoot up a three, and that one rolled off the rim. Kromenhoek with the tip out to Hall. He'll pop a three, and he hits. You give any team 3 or 4 opportunities, eventually something's going to fall. Great offensive rebounding by Sam Kromenhoek. Gabe Reed, number 23, with the basketball, drops it into Bollinger and finds Reed on the cut, and the easy floating layup is good for Gabe Reed, and he's on the board. Maple Mountain not wasting any time, getting the basketball back down the floor. Opposite wing, here's Polson. Polson goes around Reed. Here's Durant in the corner. Polson will take a three, and that one rolled off the rim. Into the front court comes Gabe Reed. Reed gets it to Bollinger. Here's Britton Covey. Covey kicks it over Nakua. Nakua right around Polson. Kromenhoek's there, runs him over. No call, and Nakua gets the basket. Sam Kromenhoek was completely set in the key. There should have been a whistle on that one, but there wasn't. At least I should say from my vantage point, there should have been a whistle. Hall thought about a deep three, pulls it back in. Kromenhoek in the corner. Durant flashing high, takes it to the basket. We're going to get a foul, and if that's Gabe Reed, that would be 3. And I believe that is going to be Gabe Reed. They're going to get Nakua, number 0. We'll check that out on the Car Guys instant replay. Nakua comes over, and I guess they got it. I guess they're going to say Nakua got him with the body, but that's the second on Nakua. Durant hits the first free throw. 7 points for Abe Durant, averages about 6. So he's already above his average for the night. And a good game against the Timpview Bigs. Durant hit the first free throw. He's going to get ready to get the second one. And Durant hits. Abe Durant making a run at our MVP Sports MVP of the game that we'll name at the end of tonight's broadcast during our post-game wrap-up. 1:23 to go before halftime. Levi Wilson in off the bench. It's Covey baseline, but quickly Maple Mountain shoring up that hole. Nakua. Maple Mountain's gone into a little bit of a 2-3 zone look here. Gavin Baxter scoreless so far through the first half. Nakua steps through the defense, runs over Hall, kicks it to Wilson. Nakua for 3 is good. So 15 of the 25 points for Timpview come from Samson Nakua. Kromenhoek opposite corner. Durant back to Hall. 50 seconds to play before halftime. Hall will pull it out. It looks like Coach Averett just signaled 1 to Jaron Hall. So it looks like they'll be content to take the lead into halftime and just play for 1 shot. Bryson Anderson over to Jaron Hall. As my partner Jerry Huffman would say, a little stall ball here going on for the final 23 seconds. Levi Wilson guarded by Polson guarded by Wilson, and a 5-second call is going to be a turnover. So Levi Wilson was just close enough there to initiate the 5-second call, and they'll call the 5 seconds if they don't feel the player's making really any progress towards making a basketball play. And so Jake Dixon's going to come in for the final 15 seconds, and Bryson Anderson will go to the bench for Maple Mountain. Levi Wilson, number 11, set to inbound. It's Britton Covey with the basketball, 12 to play. Covey with the basketball at the top. Trying to get it inside to Baxter, but nothing's home. Wilson in the opposite corner, back upside. Covey's gonna have to do something with it. 2 seconds on the clock. In the key, a floater, gets the roll. So Britton Covey gets on the board right as the halftime whistle comes, right as the halftime horn comes, and that cuts into the Maple Mountain lead and makes it an 8-point Maple Mountain lead at halftime here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. It's the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles 35, the Timpview Thunderbirds 27. You're watching high school basketball here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. Welcome back to Timpview High School here at halftime on the Spanish 4 Community Network, where the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles are leading the Timpview Thunderbirds in what is a crucial game for both teams when it comes to playoff positioning. The Maple Mountain Golden Eagles trying to keep their lead here in the region play, trying to do everything they can to stay on top to clinch that #1 seed when it comes to Region 8 for the state tournament. Timpview trying to find their way into the continue to be able to find their way to that #4 spot, as they're currently in a tie with the Wasatch Wasps. Coming into tonight, there was one key matchup. Who would score? Would it be Cade Polson or would it be Gavin Baxter? And so far, the team that has the most points also has their leading scorer with the most. Cade Polson with 10 for Maple Mountain, and they have the lead here at halftime. The interesting story, the Maple Mountain defense has found a way to contain and to control the scoring of Gavin Baxter. Gavin Baxter hasn't even gotten on the scoreboard yet for Timpview, and it's been because that Maple Mountain Golden Eagle defense has definitely been able to find him, and Timpview is just having a rough night making their shots. On the other side for Maple Mountain, it seems like every time their shot goes up, even if it's close to going in, from hitting the rim or going down, it finds a way to go through the basket. They've had shots that have rolled off the rim, have hit off the backboard, and it's just been one of those nights for Maple Mountain, those nights you love as a player and love as a coach, when it seems like everything is going your way. In the second half, though, we've seen games like this before all throughout the season for not just Maple Mountain, but throughout everywhere, where this team that's trailing at the end of the first half has found a way to inch back closer. So at this point, we'll find out coming up here on the Spanish 4 Community Network if the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles can find a way to make sure that Timpview can't come back. Once again at halftime here from Timpview High School, the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles on top, 35-27 over the home team, the Timpview Thunderbirds. We'll take a break here on the Spanish 4 Community Network when we come back to the Thunderdome, the start of the third quarter. Here tonight on the Spanish 4 Community Network, welcome back to Timpview High School, where the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles lead this one 35-27. We'd like to thank tonight's sponsors for help sponsoring this game here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. Doug Smith Auto at 1341 North Main Street in Spanish Fork. You can visit them at their location or give them a call at 801-804-5971, along with MVP Sports, who sponsor our MVP of the game. And then the Car Guys, who will sponsor all of our instant replays tonight. So we thank them for making sure high school basketball can get on the air here in Spanish Fork. Tonight, though, up at Timpview High School, as Samson Nakua goes right to the basket and lays it in. Nakua, the leading scorer for Timpview, now with 17 points for the Thunderbirds, trying to get them back in it. They're back down 6. Maple Mountain's first possession of the second quarter. It's Jake Dixon in the corner. Hall over to Durant. Timpview's fallen in now to a 2-3 zone. So they started in a zone, and Maple Mountain shot him out of it. And it looks like Kevin Santiago electing to go back into that zone to start the second quarter, or the second half. Jaron Hall with the basketball over to Jake Dixon. Dixon had traveled as he stepped through the key. He just didn't quite look like came to a complete stop. It looks like he just kind of shuffled the feet a little bit, and he'll get the first turnover of the second half for the Golden Eagles. So we'll see there on the Car Guys instant replay, just kind of stepped through and just didn't quite get that dribble down in time. 6-point lead. Thunderbirds with Britton Covey trying to get it inside. Here's Baxter in the key, and he's immediately triple teamed, drops the baseline. Gabe Reed picks up his dribble, back to Nakua. Nakua guarded by Polson. Britton Covey back over Nakua, opposite corner into Bollinger. Bollinger feeds Nakua, and Polson blocks it from behind. Great block by Polson, but right into the hands of Gabe Reed. Reed back out Nakua. Inside, Kromenhoek comes around and knocks the ball loose. Loose ball, Kromenhoek dives for it, and we're gonna have a jump ball, possession arrow favoring Maple Mountain. So one of those unseen statistics that aren't gonna show up in the box score is a hustle play like that from Sam Kromenhoek. And Maple Mountain a chance to extend their lead with 6:20 to play, third quarter. Hall with the basketball over to Polson. Polson steps through, splits the defense, floats it up there long. Rebound goes to Gabe Reed. Here's Britton Covey into the front court. Covey skip pass over to Nakua. Nakua puts it on the floor and gets it back to Gabe Reed. Reed drives through the middle, guarded by Durant. Steps it back up Covey. Covey with the basketball. Here's Baxter. We haven't seen him get many touches, but here we're going to get a whistle and a foul against Jake Dixon. And that's going to be Jake Dixon's first personal. And the first team foul against the Golden Eagles. So a nice victory for Maple Mountain whenever you can have Jake Dixon have all 5 of his fouls heading into the second quarter, or heading into the second half. Covey, number 2 with the basketball in the corner, tries to drive on Hall, sends it out to Reed. Reed puts it on the floor, floats it up. That one couldn't roll in. Loose ball, Bollinger right there to put it back. So a good offensive rebound for A.J. Bollinger, gets it to go, and it's a 4-point lead now. Maple Mountain at times has been a little liable to give up a quick run. Kromenhoek in the middle, out to Polson. Polson pump fake, puts it on the deck, banks it in. A nice use of the window by Cade Polson. Polson now with 12. And Timpview right back the other way. Both these teams play pretty quick. Bollinger wide open underneath, lays it in. 6 points for Bollinger on the night. Hall splits the defense the other way, lays it up, and gets the roll. A nice roll there, just enough backspin. Timpview right back the other way with Nakua. Covey with it, skip pass over to Gabe Reed. Reed over to Nakua, back up to Covey. Covey guarded by Hall. Trying to get inside to Bollinger, they do. He turns and lays it in. That was a big part of the Timpview offense in the first game, was getting their bigs inside to post up. Back in that 2-3 zone, Jaron Hall for 3. That one was long. Nakua right there for the rebound. Nakua runs right around Polson, running with Covey. Inside, Covey almost looks like lost his footing. We're going to get a foul. Nope, jump ball. And possession arrow this time favoring the Thunderbirds. So Devin Kafusi to come in, number 32. Kafusi had 6 points off the bench in the first half for Timpview. And the Thunderbirds set to inbound. Nakua thought about it for a second. Covey will take it in the corner, and that one just hit front rim, and Jake Dixon pulls the rebound. Dixon into the front court, drops it back to Hall. Here's Polson for 3. That one was well short, and Hall's going to save it, but when he went to hit it back in the air, it still hit that inline, so it's a turnover with 4:11 to go. We do want to thank MVP Sports for sponsoring our MVP of the game. You can visit MVP Sports at 72 North Main Street in Spanish Fork, your hometown sporting goods specialist since 1987. Skip pass over to Nakua in the corner. Back up to the top, it's Britton Covey. Timpview down by 4 at home, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Provo is beating Spanish Fork at halftime, 32-30. And there's Kafusi inside. He turns and lays it in. So Kafusi with 8 and Nakua with 17. And Timpview's back with a 2 with 3:30 to play. Back cut, here it is. Durant gets him in the air. Couldn't finish though. Ball tipped around, controlled. Dixon comes jumping in right into Covey, and they're going to get Dixon with a loose ball foul. And that will be Jake Dixon's second. Levi Wilson awaiting to check in for Timpview. And now he'll come in and Nakua is going to go get a rest at the bench. He's been awfully busy tonight for Timpview. Bryson Anderson will now check in as well, and Abe Durant will take a seat for a couple minutes here. 3:21 to play here in the third. Levi Wilson, number 11, brings the basketball up here for the Thunderbirds. Gets it to Kafusi, back to Wilson. Wilson guarded by Hall. Maple Mountain, and it looks like more of a man matchup now. Here's a three for Gabe Reed, and that one was well off. Ball's going to be tipped out of the hands of Kafusi, and that's going to go to Maple Mountain with 3:04 to play. All of our instant replays tonight that you've been enjoying, brought to you by the Car Guys at 872 North Main Street in Spanish Fork. Visit their website, thecarguysut.net. So Jake Dixon with the basketball. Number 4 dribbles around Britton Covey. Drops it inside. Anderson steps through the key, kicks it out. Krollman hook for 3. That one was long, and the rebound going to be ran down by Dixon. We're going to get a foul, it looks like, against Kafusi on a reach. But we'll wait to get the official call, and it's going to be Kafusi. And so we'll see there on the Car Guys instant replay, just Kafusi getting in there a little too strong. Jake Dixon set to inbound, gets it to Anderson. Here's Polson. Back over to Hall. Hall will back it out. Anderson with the basketball. 2-point game at Timpview. Maple Mountain on top. Here's Anderson. Right around Kafusi. Throws it up. Couldn't get it to go. Pulling the rebound was Kafusi. The ball's almost knocked away by Krollman again, but right there, Hall with the steal, and we're going to get a foul in the backcourt, and I think they're going to get Covey with the body. And they're going to get a push, it looks like, on against Covey. They're going to say he pushed Jaron Hall there when he was skying for the rebound, or for the steal. 2:16 to play, third quarter at Timpview High School, 2-point game. And Maple Mountain set to bring the basketball up here with number 1, Jaron Hall. Hall, Polson, Dixon, Anderson, and Krollman. Here's Polson with the basketball. Skip pass over to Dixon. Dixon puts it on the floor, gets it back to Hall. Back in that 2-3 zone's Timpview. It seemed to slow down the Maple Mountain offense here in the second half. Hall with the basketball, looks about splitting the defense over. Polson for 3 and hits. Nothing but the bottom of the net as the student section for Timpview was chanting air ball when he touched the basketball. That one got nothing but net. Don't know if you'd call that net ball now. I'm not sure what you'd come up with, but nothing but net for Cade Polson. Covey with the baseline drive. Baxter shoots up a 3 and hits. So you knew eventually Gavin Baxter would find his way on the scoreboard. Levi Wilson knocks the pass out away as the ball goes down the court. And it couldn't have come at a bigger time for Timpview to get their leading score on the board. 1:23 to play, third quarter. Jaron Hall with the basketball over to Bryson Anderson. Anderson with it back to Hall. Hall in the middle. Dixon steps through the key, drives, floats it up there. He's going to get fouled, and he's headed to the free throw line. Good job by Jake Dixon just to kind of freeze the defender and take it right at Devin Kafusi. So we'll see on the Car Guys instant replay, Kafusi's hand straight up in the air, but got him with a little bit of body. So Dixon's already been to the line tonight, went 1 of 2, and his first one hits the front rim. It looks like we're going to be set for another exciting finish here at Timpview High School. After tonight, 3 games for Maple Mountain remaining in the league. And Dixon misses the second one. Kafusi pulls the rebound. Levi Wilson down court ahead. Timpview has on their regular roster number 44 down as Colson Santiago. And he'll shoot up a 3. And that one was long. Kafusi gets the long rebound. Kicks it out to Wilson in the corner. Wilson back out. Baxter trying to go around Dixon. Got in the air. And passes to another one of his teammates, Britton Covey with the basketball now. Here's Kafusi inside against Krollman. Kafusi spins inside, and they're gonna get a foul inside. It looks like against Krollman maybe. And they are gonna get Krollman with the foul. We'll check out the Car Guys instant replay here. And Cromanhook, I think, knew that he got a little too much contact there. And Devin Kafusi to go to the free throw line. 8 points so far for Kafusi, and he airballs the free throw. I don't think he even got rim or backboard or anything on that last free throw. Cade Polson, Sam Cromanhook will take a rest for Maple Mountain. Abe Durant, Garrett Griffin in. 43 seconds to play, third quarter. Kafusi set at the free throw line for his second. And that one missed long. Griffin pulls the rebound. Griffin into the front court, over to Bryson Anderson. Anderson to the basket, kicks it opposite corner, and a blocking foul going to be called against Kafusi. And that's going to be the third foul against Devin Kafusi. A good drive there by Anderson, just to put it on the deck and get the blocking foul call. He sends it in, and here's Jaron Hall. Hall way back at the volleyball court lines here that share the same lines here on the basketball court at Timpview High School. Hall guarded by, trying to think if that's number 1 or 44. One of them's is Colson Santiago, but I'm not sure which one it is. One roster says one thing, and last time Colson Santiago wore number 1 against Maple Mountain. So here's Dixon with a free throw line jumper, leaves it a little short. Anderson fighting for the rebound. Wilson comes away with it. Dixon reaches in, but they're going to get, it looks like, a foul in the backcourt against Bryson Anderson. If that is against Anderson, that would be, and it is going to be against Anderson. I have that as his first personal, and that is his first personal. So Timpview with a chance with 1.4. Last time Maple Mountain saw Timpview, Samson Nakua put the half-court shot in to end the third quarter. That was controversial because it looked like it didn't get it off. That one is on its way and a little high and off. But at the end of 3 quarters from Timpview High School here on the Spanish Fork Community Network, it's the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles 42, the Timpview Thunderbirds 40. We have another exciting finish for you coming up here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. We'll take a break and we'll come back to Timpview High School. You're watching high school basketball on the Spanish Fork Community Network. .707 to go, fourth quarter. Here's Anderson in the middle. Kicks it out to Hall for 3. And right there, Durant for the rebound, gets a shot block. Everyone wanting a goaltend, no call. Timpview loves the block there, and Levi Wilson and the Thunderbirds in the front court. Inside Kafusi, a foul on the other end against Abe Durant is going to send Devin Kafusi to the free throw line. So it's going to be the second foul against Abe Durant. That is the 5th team foul. Maple Mountain with all 5 of their timeouts. Timpview has 3 remaining. That is something to watch as we go the next 6:51. Kafusi missed his 2 earlier attempts, and he misses the first one long here. We do want to thank Doug Smith Auto for helping sponsor timeouts here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. You can visit Doug Smith Auto at 1341 North Main Street in Spanish Fork. Give him a call at 801-804-5971. So Kafusi set for the second attempt, and he gets this one to go. Kafusi with 9 points, and Timpview has their first lead tonight of 43-42 with 6:44 to play in the fourth quarter. Hall with the basketball over to Garrett Griffin. That 2-3 zone has slowed down Maple Mountain. Polson skies high, gets the ball right back over to Griffin though. Hall at the top of the key as it's Hall, and there's Anderson with a free throw line jumper, and that one just couldn't roll down. Those rolls have been going all night for Maple Mountain. Baxter into the front court, over for 3, and that one's off. And Polson gonna pull it and run. Polson one-on-one with Wilson, loses it from behind by Colson Santiago. It's saved by Timpview. Quick down court pass, it goes in and out of the hands of Gavin Baxter as Jaron Hall came flying in like a defensive back, and it just went right through the hands of Baxter there. I don't know, maybe he heard Hall's footsteps. 6:08 to go, fourth quarter. Kafusi out, Levi Wilson out, Colson Santiago out. In for Timpview, Nakua, Covey, Bollinger. Timpview fired up as they get there pretty close to their starting five back in there. A starting five in for Maple Mountain outside of Sam Cromanhook. And a 1-point lead for Timpview, trying to pull an upset here in Region 8. Hall skip past to Polson, back up Dixon. Nakua reach but no call. Inside to Anderson. Anderson puts it on the deck, kicks it to Durant opposite corner. Back up to Polson. Polson guarded by Covey. Dixon comes to the high post, back out Hall, thought about it, who won't shoot it, Anderson will, and that one's good. It just hit the front part of the rim and goes down, and Bryson Anderson has 8 points tonight and a 2-point Golden Eagle lead. Baxter drops it, and Bollinger on the layup, and we're tied again. Maple Mountain is a smaller team, so they're going to give up some size inside, but you would think you would want to prevent easy layups like that. Polson with the long two. That one was short, and rebound is pulled down by Baxter. Britton Covey with it, number 2. Signed earlier this week to play football at the University of Utah. Has the basketball now, guarded by Hall. As Timpview looking to move it inside. Here's Bollinger against Durant. Spins, baseline, floats it up. Foul, count the basket and the foul. Bollinger now with 12. Kafusi has 9. And Nakua with 17 for Timpview. Bollinger a chance to make it a 3-point game, 4:46 to play. And Bollinger couldn't convert the free throw. 1 possession game, 4:42 to go. Dixon with the basketball. Tacks the basket, floats it up. Offensive foul against Jake Dixon. And that is close. That is close. They're going to say Dixon pushed off. We'll try to see here on the Car Guys instant replay. Coach Averett not happy about it, pleading his case to the official. We'll see here on a Car Guys instant replay if Dixon did indeed push off as he went up. Here's Britton Covey, number 2, with the basketball. Covey attacks the middle, runs over Cromanhook, offensive foul. So really, and Covey and Cromanhook, it looks like exchanging a word or two. And really, think of it, if they call Dixon with the offensive foul, it has to be called, I would think, on the other end. And Timpview wants a timeout to talk about it. And we have a Hey Doug Smith Auto timeout coming up here. We'd like to thank Doug Smith Auto for sponsoring timeouts here on the Spanish Fork Community Network. Visit Doug Smith Auto at 1341 North Main Street in Spanish Fork, or give them a call at 801-804-5971. So 4:28 to go, fourth quarter. Another exciting finish. You wouldn't, I've come to just expect an exciting game whenever I show up to whether it's a Maple Mountain or another game in Region 8, to see an exciting game, an exciting atmosphere here in the Thunderdome. Kevin Santiago taking the time to call a timeout, make sure everyone's kind of on the same page here with 4:28. The excitement of the last game, a couple of things at the end, maybe could have been avoided with, a timeout or two. And so an interesting call there. Maple Mountain will break the huddle. Coach Averett and the Golden Eagles will have the basketball. And you have to think with the night that Maple Mountain's had, the ball hasn't gone down for them quite like it did in the first half. But the Golden Eagles have shot pretty well tonight. So Maple Mountain will break timeout with Cromanhook, Hall, Polson, Dixon, and Anderson. Timpview will respond with Nakua, Bollinger, Covey, Baxter, and I want to say it's number 44 for Timpview. I have that as Colson Santiago, but I think Colson Santiago is wearing number 1. Dixon with the basketball, drives, attacks the basket. Hall with the basketball. Here's a jumper, free throw line for Anderson. We're tied at 47. Bryson Anderson's done a great job of coming in and getting 8 or 10 points, and he gets them at just the right time for Maple Mountain. Under 4 to play, Covey for 3, and that one was long. Ball's going to be an offensive foul on the rebound, I believe, against Bollinger. And it's going to be Bollinger with a push on the rebound, and we'll see here on the Car Guys instant replay, Bollinger going up against Kromenhoek, and he extends and just kind of pushes Kromenhoek. So I have that as Bollinger's first, 7th team foul, so now Maple Mountain and Timpview both in the bonus. So Bryson Anderson, they're going to say, is the one that's at the free throw line. Now the interesting thing is, from what I saw in the Car Guys instant replay, I believe it should be Sam Kromenhoek at the line, but Anderson shoots a 1-and-1, and he misses the first. Loose ball tipped around. Anderson flies in and banks it home. 12 points for Bryson Anderson. Padding the stats there with the rebound. And Maple Mountain up 2 with 3:41 to play in the fourth quarter. Nakua running point for Timpview. Nakua guarded by Polson. Nakua puts it on the deck, back out to Covey. The ball's tipped up, in the air. Anderson reaches for it, couldn't quite get it. He got his hand on it, but couldn't control it. Nakua over to Britton Covey. Bollinger inside against Kromenhoek, trying to back him down. Kicks it out to Covey. Cross-court pass, Gavin Baxter trying to get around Dixon. Quickly double team, back out Nakua. Nakua will take Cade Polson in the corner. Bollinger and Kromenhoek, a lot of contact in there from the Timpview forward. Drops it back out, Covey. Skip pass over Nakua in the corner for 3. And he hits it, and Timpview's regained the lead. Nakua with 20 points on the night, having a great game, and it's a 1-point lead for Timpview. Maple Mountain's played several games like this, so the experience will probably be on Maple Mountain's side. Kromenhoek in the key, back out. Dixon traveled. He just shuffled that foot before he got the ball down, and it just got going, I think, a little bit. His mind just got going a little bit faster than his body there. And Maple Mountain will take a timeout. We have another Doug Smith Auto timeout here on Spanish Fork Community Network. We thank Doug Smith Auto for sponsoring the timeouts here. And with 2:27 to go in the fourth quarter, you can visit Doug Smith Auto at their location, 1341 North Main Street in Spanish Fork. Give them a call at 801-804-5971. So 2:27 to go, a 1-point game. And we are going to sit back and enjoy the final couple minutes of this one once again as everyone settles in here. A good crowd turning out for a Friday night, late in the season game, and both of these teams definitely want that win, as right now Maple Mountain trying to stay tied with Spanish Fork for the lead, could find themselves potentially, if Provo holds on to beat Spanish Fork and Maple Mountain wins tonight, could find themselves all alone on the top of Region 8. The downside of that, if they do lose tonight and Spanish Fork loses, we could have a 3-way tie coming into the final 3 games with Provo, Spanish Fork, and Maple Mountain. And with the way Provo's playing right now, I don't think you want to be in a 3-way tie with the Bulldogs. So 2:27 to go, and a 1-point lead for the Thunderbirds. Timpview trying to break their tie with Wasatch. Wasatch tonight was at Salem Hills. So 2:22 to go, fourth quarter. Britton Covey with the basketball over to Nakua. Nakua gonna try to drive baseline back out to Baxter. Baxter guarded by Dixon, throws up a 3. That one just off the rim. Polson pulls the rebound. Polson, Hall, Anderson, Kromenhoek, and Dixon for Maple Mountain. Hall hit the big 3 against Salem Hills as time came to a close in the fourth quarter to send the game to overtime. Polson will take this one here, and he hit it. Huge 3 for Cade Polson. Gives Maple Mountain a 2-point lead with 1:42 to go, fourth quarter. Baxter with the basketball, drops it inside to Bollinger. Bollinger against Kromenhoek. Spins inside, drops it back out to Covey. Covey back into Bollinger against Kromenhoek, spins baseline, reverse layup, gets the roll. 14 for Bollinger tonight. And a 52-52 game with 1:17 to go. Dixon into Kromenhoek. Kromenhoek back out. Hall was deep off the post, and I think Coach Averett just gave him a signal to play for the final shot. So you got to be careful. Maple Mountain did this earlier in the game, and they picked up a 5-second call. Dixon over to Polson. A 2-3 zone. Covey's going to come pressure the ball. Dixon's going to come hold it. The official will pull his hands out and let the players know when the 5 seconds will start. Typically they will. Sometimes, or no, they'll pull them out to let them know you're too far. They'll start counting here. 36 seconds to play. Dixon with the basketball. Back to Cade Polson. I would imagine it would be Polson or Hall taking the final shot for Maple Mountain. 27 to play. Hall will come and get it. Dixon pressured. Gets it to Bryson Anderson. Anderson has a mismatch against Bollinger. Anderson trying to go around him. Gives it back to Hall. 15 on the clock. It all is coming down to this. Hall to the basket. Leads, feeds it for Anderson. Baseline to Kromenhoek. And a timeout Maple Mountain with 8.4. So Coach Averett will call a timeout, which sends us to a Doug Smith auto timeout. 1341 North Main Street in Spanish Fork is the location for Doug Smith Auto. You can visit them online, 801-804-5971. So 8.4 seconds to go. If you're Timpview, you're on defense. Maple Mountain's going to play for the final shot, and with the way the Golden Eagles have been shooting tonight, they're going to have a really good shot here at having a chance to win this game and being able to continue to control their own destiny. That is something that you really want, especially this time of year. The best thing for Maple Mountain is you win out, you're probably going to be the #1 seed in the region. You lose and you have to start hoping that other teams lose. That's where it can kind of get complicated compared to if you can just control your own fate. That'd be fine, as the Maple Mountain student section is getting into it here on a Friday night to start the weekend at Timpview High School, where the state championship banners are laid throughout. The 2012-2013 state football championship banner hanging across the court from us on our right. And so a great opportunity here to see what Maple Mountain's going to come up with. Both coaches have timeouts left. Maple Mountain with 3, Timpview with 2. So if Maple Mountain can't get the ball in here, they can call timeout. Bryson Anderson to inbound. He'll get it back to Hall, who will go into the backcourt to get it. Nakua picks him up. Hall's going to take it to the basket, lays it up, whistle, a blocking foul against Timpview with 3.9, and Jaron Hall's heading to the free throw line with a chance to give Maple Mountain the lead. A very tough call to take if you're Timpview there. We'll try to see if we can see the Car Guys instant replay here. And Bollinger is moving on the block. His feet were not set. And so Hall will go to shoot 2. There's some conversation here as whether it's 2 or it should be 1 and 1. But it will be 2 for Jaron Hall. And timeout Timpview. So the Thunderbirds here are going to use a timeout to try to ice Jaron Hall. Now they have 2, so you might as well. It's going to be a full timeout. So it sends us to another Doug Smith auto timeout here with 3.9 to go in the fourth quarter. 52-52. You have to kind of wonder, in a sense, how you play this if you're Timpview. You're going to have you would think you're going to have the final possession. So you think you're going to have an opportunity with the ball. Do you take a 3 to take a chance to try to win it? Or do you just try to tie the game depending on what Jaron Hall does at the free throw line? And of course the other question is, will we see Coach Santiago burn that final timeout to ice Jaron Hall? Hall on the year has been pretty solid from the free throw line. And so now he's going to get a big 2 at the line coming up here. I would imagine the Thunderdome's going to get excited here. 3.9 on the clock. Maple Mountain, if they pull this one off, moves to 15-4, 7-2 overall in Region 8. setting up a chance for their matchup next Tuesday night over in Heber against Wasatch. So Maple Mountain will clear the lane. So they'll concede any miss here. They'll concede it to Timpview. You got to watch Samson Nakua. Nakua put a half-court shot in earlier at Maple Mountain. So a big free throw coming for Jaron Hall. The first one is on its way, and it is short. He missed it front rim. Hall doesn't miss often at the line as the student section for Timpview is yelling choke, choke, choke. 3.9 seconds. You're going to have to pick up Timpview quick. Timpview does have the final timeout. Jaron Hall set. Does he have ice in his veins? We'll see if he's got it on the second one. On its way, and it's good. Here it is. It's Covey in the front court from half court. 2 seconds, 3 on the way, and it's short, it's off, and Maple Mountain survives again. It comes down to the final play again, and the Golden Eagles once again find a way to win 53-52 on the road. Comes down to the final seconds, but the Golden Eagles able to pull it out by 1 on the road. They move to 15-4 overall on their season, 7-2 in Region 8, and set up a good position now for the final 3 games to control their own destiny, with of course that big game looming next week at Wasatch on Tuesday night. So we're going to take a break here on the Spanish Forward Community Network. When we come back, we'll wrap it up and we'll announce our MVP Sports MVP of the game. You're watching high school basketball on the Spanish Forward Community Network. Welcome back here to Timpview High School on the Spanish Forward Community Network, where the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles come out victorious tonight, 53-52 over the Timpview Thunderbirds, in a game in which once again comes down to the final seconds before Jaron Hall makes 1 of 2 free throws at the line and Britton Covey misses on a 3 that would have given Timpview an upset in Region 8. The Maple Mountain Golden Eagles able to come out on top in a game in which they started off on fire. Everything they shot tonight was going down for the Golden Eagles, and then a couple of times they slowed down. Timpview goes into a zone. In the middle of the game, they go into a 2-3 zone, which really slowed down the Maple Mountain Golden Eagle offense. They had a hard time really being able to get shots to fall and really get their offense going in the way they wanted to. Of course, Maple Mountain's offense fueled by being able to force turnovers and push the ball quickly, and Timpview eliminated the turnovers in the second and third quarters. It really slowed the game down. The Thunderbirds able to come back. They slowly started chipping away at that lead like we've seen a lot of teams do this year, and when it came to the fourth quarter, Timpview able to take their first lead of the night, and then we would change leads for about the final 6 minutes of the ball game before Maple Mountain would find a way to once again get it done. I don't know exactly what it is with this season, but it just seems like every time Maple Mountain needs a break, it comes their way. And that's always a good sign when it comes to your season ending with a region title or even competing for a state championship. The Golden Eagles tonight victorious 53-52. We have our MVP Sports MVP of the game. And tonight, when you take a look at the performance, I feel if Cade Polson came out on fire to really start Maple Mountain's offense. And tonight, when he finishes the night with 15 points, they'll pace Maple Mountain a little bit below his average. But on a night where Maple Mountain needed the offense, he hit some big shots down the stretch to lead the Golden Eagles. You can catch this game and all of our other games on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/SpanishFork17. As you can see, go back and see the archives of this game and many others. Our next telecast comes up Tuesday night, when we'll be live at Wasatch High School for the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles and the Wasatch Wasps, right here on Spanish Forward Community Network. For our entire Spanish Forward Community Network team, I'm Ryan Pickens signing off. Okay, have a good night, and we'll see you on Tuesday from Heber.